Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode number 25 of Talking to Myself, a quarter of a century, a quarter of the way to 100 episodes. We made it. Welcome, everybody. I hope everyone is having a great day so far. I hope everyone's been having a great long Memorial Day weekend so far. The weather is beautiful today. I don't think it's going to last all week. I think it's actually going to go back to raining tomorrow, but we'll take advantage of today. Yeah, so this episode, I'll be honest with you guys, we're going to be freeballing it. We are going to be going over a lot of questions, a lot of comments that you guys answered. I put in the community tab, asking you guys to leave some questions, comments, concerns, whatever you want. I'll go over it today. You guys delivered. I can't wait to go over some of those. Don't really have any, I don't have any movies to review. I don't have anything major to talk about because honestly, last week, or I shouldn't say last week. It was last week was my birthday week. My birthday was yesterday, so just kind of gave myself a little time. Just gave myself some time to relax, kind of reset as much as I could. Didn't really do anything crazy. Did a lot of just hanging out, playing video games, enjoying myself. My birthday was it was a very fun weekend. Taylor had a lot of stuff planned. She surprised me with some of my friends from back home came up, went out to dinner, went to a few places to get some food and drinks. A few friends stayed over. It was a great time. Then yesterday, my actual birthday, my parents came up, got lunch, hung out with them. Can't ask for much more. At this point, I'm 27 years old. I don't care about my birthday or ages or nothing like that. I told my stepdad yesterday, I was like, what I look forward to the most on my birthday is like seeing them, like my mom and stepdad and spending time with them. Because my birthday at this point to me in my life is just like a reason to get together. Like all my friends came up and stuff. So I got to see them, get together with all of them, and then same with my mom and stepdad. So that's kind of how I look at my birthday now is it's a reason to get together with people that you love and spend quality time with them. So very grateful for 27 years around the sun. I'm hoping this is the best one yet. I'm very grateful for each and every one of you because this is it's crazy. Sometimes I think about that this is my life. I'm 27 years old, covering wrestling full time, for my own channel, my own audience, my own community and stuff. And I could have never imagined being in the position that I am even just a few years ago. And it's because of you guys. I appreciate your support constantly, always. And yeah, I'm hoping that this is going to be the best year yet. Age 27, my Jordan Crawford on the Celtics here. So should be a great one. Former Eastern Conference player of the week. What a guy. Shout out Jordan Crawford. But yeah, this episode, I really, again, don't have much to talk about. I went over some birthday stuff. We can go over some NBA, where we're at in the playoffs and everything like that. The conference finals right now, it's Pacers and Knicks going up against each other. The Pacers are up 2-1. I believe they play. Did they play tonight? Hold on, let me look up the schedule. I think they played last night. So yeah, Thunder and Timberwolves do play tonight. Thunder are up 2-1 in that series. They are back in Minnesota though. OKC won the first two games. Minnesota blew them out by like 30 last game. That's just how the NBA is. And then in the Eastern Conference, like I mentioned, Pacers, Knicks. Pacers are up 2-1. They went up 2-0 early in the series, and the Knicks won game 3 because Cat had a 20-point performance in the fourth quarter. The Dominican Tim Duncan, someone tweeted out. I think I at this point, I'm just convinced it's going to be the Thunder that win it. It doesn't matter who comes out of the East. I don't think the Timberwolves are going to be able to keep up or catch up to the Thunder at this point. I think it's the Thunder's to lose. They remind me a lot of the Celtics last year. And to that, it's like the expectations at this point, it's the Thunder. And if it's not them, then anyone else that wins it, it's like shocking, to be honest with you. I honestly, I don't care who wins. I think the Thunder will win. I don't care. The Pacers are Knicks. The Knicks winning is like, I look at that as a pros and the cons thing or a glass half full because I don't like the Knicks. I'm not a Knicks fan, and there are some players I'm not a huge fan of, but at the end of the day, we can say that we lost to the eventual champion. So that's something we can hang our hat on. But Thunder Pacers, Thunder Knicks, I mean, those are going to be Thunder Knicks could be entertaining. It would be better than Thunder Pacers for sure, but Thunder are, as long as they stay healthy and they don't, shoot themselves in the foot, they should win the NBA championship. And then whatever happens this offseason happens this offseason. There's so many rumors swirling around about what the Celtics are going to do with Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis. At this point, I'm just like, whatever happens, happens. Whoever's on the team next year is on the team next year. I'm looking forward to next year and seeing what they do with different expectations and, a different team without Jason Tatum for the first time in 8 years. Very interested. I'm very optimistic as well. I think that they will be better than people think they will be. I'm usually a more optimistic person than most, especially when it comes to like my sports teams, the Celtics or whoever. But I think it'll be an interesting offseason. It'll definitely be something to talk about. I'll talk about it, I'm sure, plenty of times moving forward here. But that is the sports talk section part of this podcast. I know not everyone cares about, basketball, sports, and stuff. That's why I put the timestamps in, so you can skip over it if you don't want to listen to any of that stuff. But let's jump into comments of the week, not sponsored by Chipotle. And I'm going to keep saying that we're not sponsored by Chipotle until we are sponsored by Chipotle. I have not had Chipotle in a few weeks. Makes you think. Maybe it's, I'm starting to get a little upset. I'm not hearing from Chipotle. I haven't been going as much recently. Things could change, Chipotle. If you hit me up, if I heard from you, we could change things up. I'll be back there this week. Sponsorship or not, I'm gonna get Chipotle. Okay, first question that we have is from Charlie, and he says, "Who is your favorite Celtic of all time, and have you been to other countries?" Answering the second question first. I have not been to other countries. I don't even have a passport. Definitely, it is. I'm gonna get a passport. It's not like purposely avoiding getting a passport or whatever. It's just a combination of one, being lazy, and two, not having, or I don't need one. Like, I don't have any trips planned, like going overseas or something. If there was something like a family trip being planned and everyone's like, okay, like we want to go to Italy or we want to go to Canada or something like that, I would get my passport immediately. But I don't have a reason to get it right now, so I don't have a passport, and because of that, I have not been to other countries. My favorite Celtic of all time is Isaiah Thomas. Still love Isaiah Thomas. I remember when they traded for him, and I believe it was it 2014? Maybe it was 2015. I remember I was getting a haircut at Supercuts, and I was sitting in the parking lot after school. The trade deadline just passed, like 3:30. Sometimes it takes a while for trades to go through league offices. So I was in the parking lot. I was not going to go in until I saw, a final tweet from Woj saying like trades are complete, everything's done, nothing, whatever. The Celtics, there were some reports of like things are happening, but nothing's been confirmed yet. Nothing's been approved by league offices, all that stuff. 15 minutes after the deadline passes, we get word that the Celtics traded Marcus Thornton and a first-round pick to the Suns for Isaiah Thomas. And he changed everything. We went from being a team that was just looking to rebuild and be somewhat competitive, like we traded for Isaiah Thomas to be a sixth man, to provide something, but they didn't have expectations to make deep playoff runs or win anything. Isaiah Thomas at 5'8", 5'9", turned that entire franchise around for like 2-3 seasons. He was a top 5 MVP candidate in 2017, I believe, 2016, 2017, averaged almost 30 points a game. It was one of the best seasons I've ever seen from an individual player in my life. Watching him play every game was a joy. One of the very first Celtics jerseys I bought. Something about the smaller players that have just the biggest hearts. Isaiah Thomas, Allen Iverson's my favorite player of all time. Isaiah Thomas reminds me a lot of AI in the sense of like underdog, short guy, short superstar that does things that normal people shouldn't do. You know what I mean? Isaiah Thomas was the best. I'm always rooting for him. I'm always hoping that he, finds his way back into the league. I know he's kind of had some stints in like the G League and all of that, but he is the best. I loved him in Boston. I truly, truly hope that one day he does sign like a 10-day or something with Boston and can finish things out, because we love Isaiah Thomas. I know I speak for the entire city. We love Isaiah Thomas. We cherished his time in Boston. And I was always a firm believer that the Celtics were cursed with, they couldn't win a championship until they made things right with Isaiah Thomas, because when they traded him, but obviously they've won since he's left, so there's no curse. But would love to see Isaiah Thomas back in Boston one day. What was the first WWE PLE you watched? The very first WWE PLE I watched was SummerSlam 2007. It was The very first one, my parents bought it for me. I was 9, or yeah, I was 9. So I ain't buying it. I don't got the money for it. They bought it for me though. That's like probably like at that point almost a year into me being a fan. So it was like, okay, I'm pretty bought into this now. It was a reasonable purchase. I enjoyed it. I think Triple H returned, Rey Mysterio returned, John Cena, Randy Orton had their very first WWE Championship match, I believe, or at least on pay per view. It's a pretty good show. Um, Honestly, that would be fun to go back and watch it for like old pay per view review. I know I do some of those for a series. That could be pretty fun. Reviewing the very first pay per view I watched. I'm gonna write that down. On to the next one. How often are you watching AEW, and or do you have any hot takes on AEW? I kind of answered this question on my Break It Down podcast that comes out every single Thursday, my wrestling show. You should check that out. Kind of talked about AEW a little bit and how I don't watch the weekly television. I keep up with everything. I follow everything, so I know like what's going on for the most part, most of the stories. I don't dislike AEW by any means. I respect it. I think it is great for wrestling because it's an alternative, and it's incredible. I don't like the people that pick one side or the other. I don't like the whole like you have to bring down one company to make another look good. You can appreciate both for what they are. They're two very different types of companies. Like AEW focuses more on wrestling than storytelling, or at least their wrestling is more of their strong suit over storytelling, and then WWE it's the other way around. And that's fine. You can be a fan of one or the other, or you can be a fan of both. But it's like, I'm not a fan of people that bring down one to talk highly of the other. Not really anything to do with the question, but I don't watch AEW as much as maybe I should, because it's just not, I do like the storyline based stuff. And I like it when things make sense, or, matches, there's a build up to it and stuff. And I like AEW because the wrestling is incredible. Sometimes I'm watching it and I'm just like, I don't know what the story is. Like the wrestling's great, but it's like, why should I care about this? You know what I mean? And that's not a knock. Like I'm not, that's just me. That's just how I am. And other people might think differently, and that's totally fine. Some people might agree with me, and that's also totally fine. I will admit though, the way WWE has been recently, I might start watching it or keeping up with it a little bit more consistently, because it's an alternative. And for what's going on right now in WWE, that's why it's a good thing that there are alternatives, because WWE is fucking, some of the major stories right now are fucking terrible. And I think there are some questions I'll answer about that later, but I don't have any hot takes of AEW. I mean, I don't know if it's a hot take, but like their storytelling needs to get a lot better. The whole Death Rider story, I know there's a lot of like, oh, Darby Allin's gone and it's kind of supposed to be about him, so they're kind of milking things till he comes back. I don't know how true that is or not, but it's like those instances, right? Where I'm so locked into Jon Moxley beating Danielson, killing him, and creating this unstable, dangerous group that takes over AEW. And within 2-3 weeks, it's just like they threw it all away, essentially. And then like the MJF Adam Cole thing, like again, injuries happened. Adam Cole got hurt, things happened, but they had some of the biggest stories in wrestling, period, and they fumbled them. Not saying everything is like that. I'm not saying every single story they tell falls flat or I don't like, but there's just things I prefer. And WWE does those things better than AEW, which is fine. I want to watch more AEW weekly. So maybe I'll start talking about it more on Break It Down. That's when you hear me talk about wrestling for the most part. So keep your eye out for that. Maybe we'll start covering AEW more over there. Where do you want to see Giannis landing next year? Honestly, anywhere but the Eastern Conference. I don't want him anywhere in the East. Get him out. I think he'd be a great fit, but I think the best place for him as far as like potentially winning championships and just dominating the Spurs. Him and Wembanyama next to each other. De'Aaron Fox. I mean, you probably would have to trade Stephon Castle. I think they could probably get away with trading Sochan, Johnson, Vassell, maybe another young guy, and they're going to have to give up a ton of picks. But number 2 pick, including 2 and 14 are 1,000% on the table, and they can make it happen. I think him or the Spurs or the Rockets could have the strongest offers. As much as they would run the league, I think him on the Spurs would be so fucking cool. Him and Wembanyama would be unstoppable together. Chris Paul, if he stays around, he has a chance to win a ring, which he'd go down as one of the best players to never win a ring. So I would be happy to see him win one. We'll see, though. But I'd say I just don't want him in the East. I'll put it that way. If I had to predict where he's going to go, I'm going to say San Antonio. But as long as it's not in the East, I don't care. What do you think of Cena's heel run? It fucking sucks, Kyle. You listen, I said earlier, I'm a pretty optimistic person when it comes to things. Try to look at things glass half full. This whole John Cena heel run, I tried my best. I really tried to get behind it and understanding the story behind it and just going along with everything post Rock. The Rock's not around anymore. Things don't make sense. So he's ruining wrestling, which I believe is just an absolute fallback. It's just a cop-out, like, explanation for everything because The Rock isn't there. So we pivoted from, oh, he sold his soul to The Rock to, oh, he just hated being booed for so long. Now he's ruining wrestling and just doing the stupidest shit. Yeah, him teaming with Logan Paul and now going to face Cody and Jey Uso, like, his backstage segment with Jey Uso at Saturday Night Main Event was so weird and so bad. Like, I know John Cena's playing the heel and he's supposed to be a different character and everything, but like, he's talking like he's Dexter, like the serial killer. He's talking so slow and just weird, and it's like, what? I think TKO and Triple H are ruining John Cena's last year. I know he won the championship, but he won it. Like, we're gonna look back on this in 5-10 years, and we're gonna come to the conclusion that at least up to this point, it's been terrible. There are people that are supporting it and backing it up. To each their own. Everyone has an opinion. I don't get how there are people that support this and actually think that this is good. It's not. It's really not. The whole ruining wrestling, it's part of it. It's the story. That's the whole. No. Nope. I'm sorry. It's trash, and it sucks. It's a damn shame because it's John Cena. He's the GOAT regardless in some people's eyes, but they should have just done a regular retirement run, have him be the face, going after the championship, dream matches, revisiting old matches. That's what it should have been. Like, we were talking about him facing Logan Paul and maybe even staying away from Logan Paul. Now he's teaming with him. He almost helped him win the world. No, I'm all set. Do you plan on doing content with other content creators? Yes, I do. I do plan on doing that at some point. I have reached out to some content creators over the last few weeks, over the last few months, trying to get things planned out, scheduled, but definitely do plan on doing that, whether it's for, having guests on this podcast talking about any and everything, or some wrestling videos, whatever it may be. Definitely going to look to and hopefully have some guests on in the near future. In the last comment/question we have from 5-Star Wrestling, what's your athletic background? Play any sports in high school /youth/college? So yes, I do have an athletic background. I just wasn't good at really anything. So yeah, I played baseball growing up, like Little League, played it my freshman year of high school. Not good at all. Did win the championship freshman year of high school, though. I was on the team freshman year. I left, and then they never won again. So not saying that I was a big reason why, but hey, 1 for 1 in high school. Did baseball, played basketball my whole life, basically up until my senior year of high school. Didn't play soccer, wasn't a huge fan of that. It was always basketball. I was a huge basketball fan, so that was my sport. But in high school, my senior year, second semester, I joined the track team. Never did track before. The track and field coach was like, there was a bunch of seniors that, I went to a prep school. So you had to do 2 sports a year. So it was the fall, winter, spring seasons. You had to do 2 sports. And it was our senior year. Some of us needed one more sport to do. And a few of our friends did track, like, hey, do this. We'll all just like fuck around for the last few months of high school. And yeah, we'll have a good time. Turns out, we actually were fucking disgusting. I was only ever good at running, like in any sport. I was just very fast, sprinting and stuff. So I did track. I did sprinting, 100 meter, 200 meter, 4x1. We ended up winning the new, what did we won? I think we won New England's. We won the New England championship out of all the schools in New England. We came in first place, our school. Our 4x1 team, our 4x, unbelievable. We were so fucking good. Definitely wish I did it more than just a few months. If I had actually done track all 4 years of high school and did like winter, spring, whatever, I think I would have been nasty. We were good just for like picking it up and doing it, but it was track was probably my best sport that I ever played, and I only did it for 2 months. So that's really, I don't think, never played football because my high school never had a football team. I don't even know if I would have played football anyways. Track, basketball, baseball. I did play soccer in eighth grade. In eighth grade, but yeah, I think that was it. I don't think I did anything else. Wasn't a great athlete. Wouldn't even consider myself an athlete, but I was fast. So track was probably the best thing that I had done sports wise. And that is all we have for today, guys. I know this is on the shorter side, which, I would like it to be a longer episode, longer podcast, but like I said, didn't have too much going on. It was my birthday weekend day thing. So I had a relaxing week, reset a little bit, got caught up on things, and now we're back on the wagon. We're going to have a great week. Hope you guys have a great week too. I appreciate you for watching. If you're a video, well, no, what am I saying? If you are watching, you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you aren't already, I appreciate you for watching. If you're an audio only listener or you want to listen to this on audio platforms, Talking to Myself is on Spotify, Apple Music, all that good stuff. Make sure to give me a 5-star review rating, whatever you got to do. I appreciate the support no matter what. Thank you guys for joining. Hope you have a great week. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you when I see you. Happy Memorial Day, guys. Peace.